up, folks? I'm Alex with Swamp Rat Fishing. I've got the co-hostess with the mostest, the jabberhammer, Paul Heels, with me. And we are your weekly distraction from quality fishing podcast. We are the Bass and Brews podcast. Before we go any further, I looked through a bunch of clips, Paul, and I saw a bunch when I was gone where you would start the podcast with this heyo, right? I think you need to bring that back. I want the heyo back.
Well, shit. Start over. End it and start over because you fucked it up.
Do it from right now. Let's hear it.
Hello.
Hey, there it is, dude. I love that. I was looking through clips, and right now I'm working on every episode that I was gone that you did heyo. I'm going to put them all together really quick for like a 20-second clip of you doing heyo. I love it. All right, everybody.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
What kind of nonsense bullying is your daughter gonna do with me saying heyo?
I think she'll love it.
Since apparently I talk weird.
Listen, we were just talking. We've got Kris. I'm gonna mess this up. We just talked about it too. We got Kris Winsjansen from Instagram. We got him on today. We're gonna get some.
Win a kayak. He did not win a kayak.
He did win a black pack though, and I tried to get it for us, and he gave us the kibosh. But
what? Hold on, the what bosh?
The black pack.
No, the what bosh?
Kibosh.
Okay.
You never heard that term?
Yeah, we say kibosh.
Of course you do, because you say everything dumb. There's nothing I can do about that.
Whoa, says the 5'2" asshole.
But in the green room, we were talking Paul and everybody. Listen, I want to see comments flooded left and right. I've been hitting TikTok hard for Bass and Brews, right? The people want more Paul. And the best way is either Paul sends me more clips or Paul needs to specifically go back to naming his fish before he releases them. They're a huge hit. If anything else, it makes me giggle when I'm pooping every morning. So
you can go snag all that shit from Instagram, can't you?
I got them all. We need more.
You have not. I looked at the TikTok last week, and you do not have all of them.
Well, I got the good ones. I got the good ones, but I'm going to go back through.
Good.
All right. Good. But we need that back. But in the middle of that, my daughter, my youngest, was like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "Oh, that's my co-host." And she goes, "Why does he talk funny like that? What's his name?" I said, "Paul." And she goes, "What do you mean, Paul?" All right, we got Kris on board. We've got you guys should hear, we're streamlining a little bit on Bass and Brews, right? So you guys are going to hear the canned messages up front so we can get right to our guests. Because before we were keeping them in the queue for like 10 minutes. So
he's in the queue just as long now as he would have been if we would have done our shit.
God, I hate you, Paul. Paul, are you ready? Look, Paul leaves. Paul's got a tinkle. Paul doesn't know that his door's open. Oh, man. I thought Paul was going to go to the bathroom and he had his door open.
No, first of all, that's the door to the house, not the potty. And second, I had to get a hat. My fucking hair is a wreck tonight.
It's a perfect hat. All right, we're gonna jump straight into it. Let's bring on Kris. You ready, Paul? Kris, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Doing great, man. So in full fashion of Bass and Brews, hopefully, Kris, you've got something to pop tonight. Normally, we like to crack a adult beverage or a minor beverage as well. Jabberhammer, you're not. All right, Jabberhammer, you're not partaking tonight. Is that correct?
Well, yeah. I got some. Let me share a story with y'all now. It starts back in 1998. All right, it's going to be a quick story, but we got to start back. 23 years ago, 13. Well, it don't matter. What every year, don't matter. No, man. No, I ain't drinking tonight. I got to lose some weight, so we've been doing a 3-day fast. I broke it today. I would, be way more ununderstandable if I probably had a drink tonight than typical.
I like it. Well, Kris, what are you drinking tonight?
I got a Thin Man Brewery Trial by Wombat. It's a IPA, 7 alcohols, Paul.
7 alcohol. Here we go. And
see, That's awesome. But look, this man bringing fat jokes to the podcast. He got him a Thin Man beer to drink.
I got some others too. Don't you worry.
Oh, what's the next one? Paul's a fat ass. It's got 9 alcohols in it or something.
Yeah, that's a stout. It's a stout for sure. The Paul's a fat ass.
Look, look, I got my handle right here.
In commemorating me being home, and you guys see this isn't the Motel 6 shithole of Oakland that I'm normally in. I'm actually back home in South Jersey, which is the only place that I've been able to get Cape May Brewery. So we're doing the Sea Chest, a hazy, juicy, fresh, New England style Indian Pale Ale. That's 7.4 alcohols. Yes. In tall boy form.
I am culturing you pretty damn good, and I'm glad you ain't got stupid ass blanket up behind you too.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's crack these beers. I want to get to that. Chris, you ready, man?
Yeah, man.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, the countdown.
Listen, you're a little premature. It's all right. It happens to all of us, man.
Yep.
It really does.
Away from your wife for 6 months, right, Alex?
Hey, watch this. I'm going to be a classy broad, though. I'm pouring into my mug here.
Look at that. Look at that. Listen, this is why I bring a Coastie on board.
A fucking classy guy, all right?
If you guys don't know, Chris is also in the Coast Guard. Most of you guys know I am, but he is also in the Coast Guard. And I can't even remember how you reached out to me, but you reached out to me. And we had to have you on the show. Cheers, brother.
Yeah, I was creeping on your fucking Facebook or something, and I saw the Stratton on there, and I was like, "Oh shit!" So
Alex, let me ask you a question. This man looks pretty damn healthy, pretty jacked.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened to you? What's the difference? I mean, like, is he on a different boat, or like, I mean, are you too small, too short to grow big muscles?
Let me tell you something.
Go for it.
Last year, around this time, I was 265 to 270 pounds. I was out of shape, and I told Alex, when I wanted to go on the show, I was like, I can't drink beer. We got weigh-ins coming up, and I had to just cut all that shit out and get back into shape, so I feel, more like myself again. But
I mean, that's good, man.
I lost 35 pounds. I'm down to like 230 now. So
hell yeah, dude. That's awesome.
Just lifting weights and
and obviously not eating the Coast Guard food. So if you guys don't know, Chris is a culinary specialist. He's a he's a cook in the Coast Guard. So give me a couple more beers, and then we're gonna have a whole segment on the performance of the cooks underway. Because
oh fuck yeah,
your boys are lacking underway. Let me tell you. But
hey, what happened with that stupid ass blanket?
Oh, yeah. So I was rolling back through, and one of the first clips I put on our TikTok, and it's like my favorite clip, is where I try to sound fancy about redoing the studio, and then I go, and I pulled the $5 stupid fucking blanket off the wall. So I thought I was going to be fancy and have like those backdrops that people do. Dude, I bought like a $5 sheet from Target, and I hung that bitch behind me, and I put it up. And then you know what else I did? Paul never saw it. I put up Christmas lights around it. I was like, that's just like what all the big names are doing, right? And I have my wife come downstairs and I have her take a look at it. And she, if you guys haven't heard, what's the name of that episode? The Rat is Back episode, where my wife is actually on the podcast. Only supposed to be on for 10 minutes. She was on the entire time. It was great. But she gives no quarter.
I did see that one.
Oh, dude, it's dude, she sits on the whole time shitting on us, basically. She's a Jersey girl through and through, but she looks at it and she goes,
"Oh, I could tell."
Yeah. She looks at it and she goes,
"I told you, I dated Jersey girls.
They're a little crazy." But she looks at it and she goes, "Hey, that's gonna look really great if you want to look fucking stupid." And I was like,
yeah, "Oh, I mean, who puts up? It
wasn't like a stained sheet, though, right?"
No, perfectly clean. No happy stains on it. I'll tell you that.
Who puts up a dark background for a fucking video recording?
Listen, I was trying.
You should ask somebody first. Where are you from, Kris? When's the kayak fishing?
Originally from Long Island, New York. But obviously moving around a lot in the Coast Guard, so nice. I kind of lost a little bit of my accent, but you'll probably hear it a little bit more the more I drink. So
I hear you. Well, hey, I just want to tell you this before we get into the meat and taters. The rest of this podcast is Southern iced tea is way fucking better than Long Island iced tea. That's all I got to say.
All right, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. As long as you got enough booze in it.
Yo, Paul, that is the best line you've ever said. Southern iced tea is better than Long Island iced tea. I love it. All right.
Are you talking about Southern tea with booze in it though, or just sweet
sugar. Tea? Not Southern iced tea. If you don't drink it within 12 hours, it turns into syrup.
All
That's
right.
how Kris
Well,
got
it's
that
gonna just drinking sweet tea.
Fucking exactly. I mean, yeah, exactly.
All right, I definitely.
Oh, Kris wins a kayak. We starting off bad, man. I mean, it's delicious. Southern iced tea is delicious. Sweet tea, so I don't know. Southern just fit better with me shitting on Long Island iced tea.
The thing I don't understand is you go somewhere and they ask for unsweetened tea.
Yeah.
Right. So how is it unsweetened? Isn't it just tea?
Yeah, it's just cold iced tea.
Cold ass tea.
What the fuck?
Not cold iced tea, just cold ass tea.
That is the only way to have it. I do all my iced tea unsweetened. It's delicious. Dead silence. All right, so Kris,
this is the tea and brews. It's the tea bag and brews podcast.
The tea bag.
Yeah, why the fuck are we talking about tea now?
I don't know. Ask Alex. He's in charge of this damn train wreck.
Listen, Kris, I wanted to have you on. So not only do you kayak fish, I've seen your content that you put out. It's good. You can tell you have a passion for it. But I also like in the realm of the Coast Guard, there's not a lot of us. I mean, there's some, but you look at the other branches, they've got way more representation. For some reason, maybe it's because we work on boats way more than the Navy does, that we don't have enough kayak anglers out there. Or if they are, they're very quiet about it and they're kind of low key. So it was awesome to see that you serve as well in the mighty, mighty, glorious Coast Guard. And I'm stoked to have you on.
I appreciate that. I'm speaking of that, I'm right by Fort Drum. And there's a lot of kayak anglers in my area just from Fort Drum, Army base over here.
Mm-hmm.
And they're freaking everywhere, man. Like I've never seen so many kayak anglers in uniform. Really, they'll go out straight in their uniform. I guess a lunch break, and they'll be out there fishing in their uniform and shit.
Hell yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
I think there's Fort Drum. That's
Fort Drum?
Upstate New York, right?
Yeah.
What happened? Did you answer my question? Can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because I asked a question and you talked over me. That's rude, Alex, asshole. Is Fort Drum as in New York, you said?
Yes, yeah. That's New York.
Thank you.
All right, so what got you into that was it.
I just want to know where it was.
So what got you into a kayak? We like to ask this because a lot of people have a lot of different reasons for getting into kayaks, whether it be ease of access or it's cheaper, whatever it is. So I always like to hear exactly kind of what drove you to get into a kayak.
I guess it all started. I was at a station and we had some morale kayaks that were 10 feet long, ocean kayaks. You get inside, you're sitting in water, and I think the weight capacity was 200 pounds. At the time, I was 250. So I exceeded the weight capacity by 50 pounds at least, not including the gear and all that shit. So when you're sitting in it, you're basically taking a fucking bath. You're sitting in water the whole time. It is absolutely ridiculous, but it got me off the bank, and that's all that mattered. And I didn't sink. So it was, fantastic. But before that, I was. No, go ahead, man. Go.
My bad. No, go ahead. You go ahead. You the damn guest. Alex will cut me off later. We good.
All right, that's true. Before that, I was just beating the banks, and I was in Delaware. All they have in Delaware is just ponds. I mean, I think the biggest freshwater body is 200 acres. Is the biggest pond or lake in Delaware.
We're at in Delaware, Indian River.
Yeah, Indian River. Yep. So you know where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I fished pretty much all the ponds in Delaware, and yeah, they're super small, totally different from where I'm at now. It's completely different. I mean, the deepest pond there is probably 8 to 10 foot, and it's just, mostly dirty water, complete opposite of where I'm at now with like the Finger Lakes and the St. Lawrence River, Lake Ontario. I mean, it was a real change for me coming up here. So
did you fish prior to that? Like you said, you grew up in Long Island. Did you striper fish or anything like that?
Oh yeah. Dude, I've been a fish head since I can walk, man. Like my dad, he was a big saltwater guy. He used to make his own surf rods, and he'd take me out 4 years old. He'd wake me up at 4 o'clock in the morning and be like, time to go. He'd be out there smoking his cigarettes in the living room and be like, all right, time to wake up. And we'd be carrying stuff down the beach, dragging the cooler and stuff like that. And I mean, that's how it all started for me, mainly saltwater fishing off the beach, surf casting, and fishing the docks. And we did a little bit of freshwater fishing, but I don't know how much you know about Long Island, but it's probably similar to Jersey. There's not like great freshwater fishing there. It's a lot of like smaller lakes, and a lot of them are very polluted.
Yep.
So it wasn't the best freshwater fishing. Plus, you're on a fucking island. Like, you're gonna saltwater fish before you freshwater fish most of the time.
Yeah.
So
but
I mean, from there,
did you fish? I know you went to school in Petaluma, right? Kind of a side note. Did you fish that pond in Petaluma? The one on base?
I didn't. No, I did not.
Did you hear? So it was about a month ago, dude. They pulled an 8 out of that Coast Guard pond. They have like cultivated this thing. Yeah, there's giants in there, and supposedly what they're doing is students are like specifically CSs are taking the old seafood and they're throwing it in there. So these giant bass are eating like shrimp and shit like that, right? And they're getting big. And the guy who caught it, I saw a clip on my phone of it, right? He sent it to me. He didn't catch it hook. He literally put a piece of shrimp on his finger, shoved it in there, and then grabbed it and pulled it out. Like the fish bit his hand and pulled it the fuck out, an 8-pounder out of that fucking pond. They sent this to me, of course, like right when I was in the airport on my way down here. And I was like, how come fucking nobody told me this? Because when I went to A school in, dating myself here, 2003, the only thing we did by that pond was make out with chicks with low self-esteem and get drunk. That was basically our whole plan.
So
I didn't even notice the pond until I was graduating, pretty much.
Right. Go ahead, Paul.
What's that, Paul?
I was going to ask you, Alex, what the hell were you doing that time if everybody else was making out with chicks?
Studying.
Were you watching?
Hiding in the shadows, watching.
Were you like, hey, can I be next?
All right, so
can I take a number?
So you started with the morale boat, right? The morale kayak.
Yeah.
What was the first kayak that you kind of got yourself?
So one of the first times I went out, it was at a pond in Delaware, and it's actually where the state record bass was caught. It was close to my house. It was Wagaman's Pond, it was called, and it was I think it was an 1110 was caught out of there. And this is a 50-acre pond I'm talking about. But I mean, that's a decent sized pond for Delaware. I saw, fucking monster. I think it was 27 inches long or something crazy. Super long, like unheard of for that area. It's not even that far south, actually, if you look at where Delaware is. But I saw a guy at the boat ramp, and he was in I think it was a Jackson big rig. And I was just, it blew my mind. The guy was bigger than me and standing up fishing. I'm like, I didn't even know that was a fucking thing. So I went out. I actually bought like a cheap John boat at first before I even got a kayak, just because I saw a great deal on it. But my first kayak was a Perception Pescador Pro or something like that. A decent kayak. I think I dropped like $800 on it or something like that. But I used that for a while, and I couldn't stand in it or anything. It was really uncomfortable. Like, honestly, I spent a 10-hour day out on the water in that thing. I got fucking hemorrhoids from it. I was like, what the fuck? This sucks. So probably because I was overweight. So it wasn't the best experience at first.
It had to be the pescador, right? Listen, pescador, your kayaks give people hemorrhoids. We can just mark them off the sponsor list.
Yeah, just cross them off, put them on the fucking list, you know. I started researching, and of course I saw Chad Hoover with the Bonafide SS127, and he was a big fucking dude, and he's standing up fishing. I was like, I want that, I need that, and that was the next thing I bought. So
okay,
if that big ass man can stand up and fish, that kayak is for me. How tall are you, Kris? Wins a kayak?
6 foot.
Oh, okay, so you're like 2.5 Alex's tall.
Shit, there it is. Listen,
yeah,
here.
Pretty much.
Listen
hey,
here.
Don't worry, Alex. I use a squatty potty too. I use a squatty potty too, Alex. Don't worry.
Yeah, but I have to use the squatty potty to get up to piss. You use it to shit.
Yeah, I use it for what its purpose. So it's okay. You're still cool with me. Don't worry about it.
Listen, wait. I don't know if you're going to go with that. Wait till we get to our cook section. Once we get to that, it might be a different story.
Oh, boy. Looking forward to that. All right.
So you were in the SS. And,
you're not going to give me
what are you fishing out of right now?
Right now I've got two natives. I got a native Titan 10.5 and a native Slayer Max 12.5.
Nice. I feel like native.
So I just like
brands
to say, what's that?
Go ahead.
I
feel like native's one of those brands. No. Native's one of those brands. I feel like quietly, does a great job. And I'm not saying as much as me and Paul or mostly me give Paul shit, right, about the Hobie deal, right? I feel like all the for the most part the big names are good, right? But native's that one that is kind of on the outside just doing their own thing, but they're doing a really good job at it. I've never had anybody really complain about their native.
They're North Carolina.
I agree. I mean, company. They are. And the only complaint I ever really hear is and from experience too, is people say they're leaky boats. And you shouldn't, buy a boat that you have to do any kind of, customizations to make it not leak water. But they're constantly improving that. And you can see that with every year they're improving, they're listening to their pro staff and they're changing that. And, that's why I'm glad that I recently just got accepted onto the native team. So I actually just found out 2 days.
Dude.
Yeah.
Hey,
2 days ago.
When you see Vinny Ferrari, now you go give him a big high five and a hug and tell him that's from Paul.
I will do that.
Dude, that's awesome. That's a good deal. That's I think when people we've talked about the pro staff, what do we call it? Dilemma, right? There's that show, The Social Dilemma. So I'm going to call it the pro staff dilemma, right? I feel like when you get a kayak pro staff team, you're a little more invested in it, right? Because you're really part of a team. Paul's got a rebuttal though. What do you got, Paul?
We have professional staff members, and then we have promotional staff members. You and I are promotional staff members for Hook Set Hoodlums.
Correct.
They don't give us no money.
No.
They don't give us no free gear.
No.
We are not pro staff. We're promotional staff.
Would you say
when people embrace that, then other folks won't get so angry at people's 10% discounts?
Listen, I think so. You saying that? Do you think there's actually? All right. I don't think so. When somebody says they're like a pro, right? They're a pro. They're getting paid to do it. They're not called a pro staff, right? But I do think you're right. I do think you're right that people need to understand the phrase in the business pro staff means promotional staff. It does not mean
we've talked about this. We've talked about this being a future podcast, so we won't get into that. But I had to throw my two damn jabberins out there.
But I do feel, Chris, I feel like that's a good spot because normally the pro staff members for kayaks, right? Specifically the big brand kayaks, like they like what you're doing. You're doing a good job at it. And usually the people that do that aren't, man, we're going to get way off the rails because this is obviously not the only one I've had. They're not these self-serving whores out there just doing it for a 10% code. Yeah. You know what I mean? And going like, I'm a professional fisherman.
Dude, I'm right there with you.
Right? I'm a professional fisherman because I have 10% off at Titan Tungsten. Well, guess who else does? Every single bot on the internet has the same fucking profession or the same promo code.
There's nothing wrong with either. There's nothing wrong with either. And we're taking away from Kris Winsjansen Kayak announcing his
no, not at all. Not
induction.
at all.
But yeah, that is awesome. I mean, you know, if I could ask to be on a pro staff,
yeah,
and I only could choose one, it would be for a kayak. I mean, Hooks at Hoodlums.
Well, see, guys, the thing is, I didn't reach out or fill out an application or anything at first because I kind of hit a spot where I was like, I'm not doing any more pro staff and anything like that. I'm not going to get into it because you just said you're going to have an episode about that, but I hit a point where I was just like, I'm not going to do that anymore. And an old friend of mine reached out to me from Delaware, and random phone call. He was like, hey, can I call you? Haven't talked to him in probably a couple of years since I was stationed in Delaware. And I know he's on the native team, and he told me, you know, a bunch of stuff about what they're doing. And I was like, what are you getting at? And he was like, how would you like being a part of that, you know, being part of the team? And it blew my mind. I wasn't expecting it at all. So it's not like I was reaching out to them and, you know, spamming the page and all this shit or emailing them. They kind of reached out to me, and it was a good feeling because I'm like, I don't have a big following and I'm not out there winning national tournaments. So it's like, you know, what do I got? Like, what he saw something in me that he was like, you know, we want you to be part of the team. So it was a good feeling, you know?
Yeah, that's good. That's good shit right there. I mean, to have somebody reach out to you. And that new one, I can't remember the name of it. I saw it at the Classic. The new one, I'm not sure if it's out yet, but they had one at the Classic. That's a sharp looking kayak for sure.
Was you talking about the new Slayer that they came out with all the upgrades?
Yeah, the big one, like 12.5 or something. The big one for whatever. It's the new big one that they got out. I can't remember. That was so long ago.
So what they did with that is they had a lot of problems where the scupper holes were below the water level. So even with the scupper plugs in, you were still getting water in, especially unless you were a really light person and not carrying a lot of gear. But somebody like me, and I'm a tackle junkie, so I bring probably 100 pounds of shit with me at least. So there's water coming in. Like, there's no fucking plug in the world that's going to stop that water from coming in. But with the new one, they raised the deck on it, and they solved that problem. So
that's one thing I was
glad to see that.
That's one thing I really, really love about the Hobie. And I hadn't been in any other kayak, so I can't talk shit about them. But one thing I do like about the Hobie is the deck's always dry. I mean, sure, there's some water that gets in there, but there's, you know, it's always dry. Yep. My feet are always dry, and I fish barefoot, you know, 368 days out of the year. So having dry feet's good. They'd be all crusty and shriveled up and shit. If not, they look worse than they do now. I mean, they'd be taking away my corn.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as much as I
come on, man.
As much as I give you shit, Paul, like the Hobie is, again, like I said before, like all the big names, they're all good boats. There's really no shit boats out there. The technology
they all have their issues.
So right. Yeah, they do.
I mean, Old Town has none of those issues.
Oh, okay.
Get the fuck out of here.
Look, finally, that Long Island iced tea accent came out.
It came out. Get the fuck out of here.
It slipped. I slipped a little bit.
No, I mean, they're just so, all the big names. The boats are so good. All the ones that are coming out with pedals for the most part are all solid. Everything has their quirks, but, obviously you pay more. It's going to be a better boat for the most part. Hobies, you pay a lot, and they are a good boat. They're a very good boat. So,
yeah. And the Jackson R just came out. We had Jake on last week who talked about, his trial run with that. And he just made a post this week that he's He went NAR. He's selling his Hobie. So if anybody's in the market, unless it's been sold, check out Jake Harshman selling his Hobie 360. But there's a lot of innovation that's going to come with kayaks in the next few years than we've seen probably the last few years. There's going to be some major changes. I'm just saying because of all the technology and shit that we're putting on them and how they become mini bass boats.
What more can we do you think?
Oh my God. I mean, there's all kind of integrations that you can do for electronics, propel systems, obviously with motors coming on board. Like people talk about the Hobie specifically not being a kayak that was meant for a motor. And so that's, it throws off the weight distribution on that boat. And most of the other ones too, autopilot is made for a motor.
Yeah.
But yeah, just integrations for electronics and batteries is going to be a huge one. Probably some type of built-in integrated lighting. You're going to see storage options are going to differ. I just think that there's going to be a lot more usable hull space in the kayak than there is now.
All right, Chris, how about this?
Yeah,
how about this came up the other day online, right? So I don't know what kind of graphs you run on board, right? But live scopes, are you pro or against live scopes in tournaments?
I'm kind of indifferent on that. I mean, I used to be the guy that was like, I don't need a graph and I just needed to see what the water temperature is. And I recently upgraded to a Garmin UHD 93SV. It's live scope compatible. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not, but probably just to keep up with all these motherfuckers. I feel like I'm going to need to. But
absolutely positive, like especially for the kayak game, right? Because the kayak for the tournament side, and Paul, correct me because I'm not the kayak guy, right? I'm the stupid video guy. But there's so much planning involved, and you can't just run across the lake, right? So having that extra scope, especially live scope, would give you a huge advantage on whether, especially in your pre-fishing, right? On whether you're in a good spot or not. So do you think it's a necessary thing as we move forward in the next year or two, necessary to have live scope on your kayak to compete at a high level for kayak fishing?
I think it definitely will be. I mean, I feel like it depends on the body of water you're fishing on. I mean, there's all kinds of guys that fish skinny water and it's not really necessary, but there's always going to be those days where you have to fish deep or you're going to have to use your graph. Like it's going to be something where you're going to need at some point, I feel like, to, be up there and be in the money and be in the top anglers. I feel like you're going to need it at some point. I don't think we're there yet because there's still a lot of guys that aren't using it where they're still doing really well. So,
I mean, so if anything, a calling card to everybody, join our Patreon so we can get the Jabber Hammer, a live scope, so you can actually win a fucking tournament. That'd be really great.
Yeah, it would. I mean, I'm perpetually either fourth or last.
If you ain't first, you last.
But that's the damn truth, man. I fish to win. I don't give a fuck about no second place. I don't care not a damn thing about a damn trophy. I don't care how heavy it is, how blue it is, how pretty it is, how many fish jumping on it are. I don't care. I mean, if that bitch ain't made out of gold, platinum, or silver, and I can't sell it for hard cash money, I want no damn trophy.
Listen, what about?
Give me my $10 per.
Listen,
for that
as
contest,
a trophy holder.
Trophy.
Right, because I hold a trophy, biggest bass and hook set, right? You're telling me that thing, you wouldn't be excited to have Bass and Brews sweep the first 2 years of them putting out trophies?
I wouldn't mind that, right? That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm talking about when I go pay money to enter a tournament. I don't want a plaque, a trophy. I don't want any of that. Save that money and put it towards the pot.
All right. Because I just came up with an idea. I feel like, and I just got to see the trophy when I came home last week, right? For the first time. It's a great trophy. my wife is nice enough to put it up on the mantle, but I've just now decided for a video, I'm going to take that trophy around town. Like tomorrow, I got a bunch of errands to do. That bitch is going to the grocery store. I'm going to treat that thing like the Stanley Cup. It's going to go everywhere with me. I'm going to figure out how to mount it to the kayak. But it'd be really great, Paul, because I think you're still in the lead to sweep this thing the first 2 years, Bass and Brews.
We're gonna try. We're gonna try it. It depends on if the Louisiana and Texas folks measure their fish. If they do, it starts to get slim.
Listen, as much as I make fun of you, thank God there's a lot of those Louisiana, Texas Hookset Hoodlum members because they don't understand a ruler. They just kind of put their cowboy boot and they call it good. So thank God they're on the team. You know what I mean?
Weighing it down in the dirt, with the fishing rod next to it. Like, here you go.
They're like, listen, that son of a bitch was at least a half of Abu Garcia.
Paul, I got to ask you, are you going up for the Susquehanna event? No, did you make that or no? It was like 5 minutes. It sold out, the Hobie event.
The only national tournament I fished this year and will fish was the Hobie down at Santee. Hopefully next year I'll get in a couple more, and then the year after that, if shit goes right, business grows and all that good stuff. And maybe I win some more money, I'll do some more. But I'm planning to do more each year up until I can travel some. But yeah, all local now. All local. I'm gonna go suck it. I am fishing KFL. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I was gonna do the KFL. I got offered a spot on the New York Empire, but I just with my schedule this year, I don't know. I didn't see how I could even fit it in there. So I
your schedule
turned it down.
Your schedule of burning chicken that's still raw.
Yeah, absolutely. Blackened chicken.
Listen,
raw in the middle, just the way they like it.
Again, and now I'm going to hit it because we're early and I'm already a beer down. So my favorite. So if there's especially on a ship, Chris, you haven't been on a ship. That's correct, right? You haven't got underway yet.
Yeah. If you count an 87 as being underway, then yeah, I have.
Nope.
So
nope, I don't. That's a basically the size of our small boat. So, no.
Yeah.
The cooks on board.
So no, my answer is no.
So the cooks on board, I will say this, and it's going to be on, it's going to be recorded out into the ether. They have probably the toughest job in the Coast Guard. And here's why. No matter what they do, they're on spotlight 4 times a day, right? Underway. They're on spot for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and mid-rats. And there's no way they're going to make somebody happy. Or I'm sorry, not make somebody happy, make everybody happy. Somebody's going to bitch about it, right? And I totally get that. And I sympathize. But also, this is out into the ether. I'm on Coast Guard Cutter Stratton. It is May 18th, 2022. I've got combined 8 years of sea time. This is the worst FS staff I have fucking ever been with. They are atrocious.
Really?
They are blackened chicken, right? One, I love they put it on the menu. And I'm like, oh, great. They're going to tell us. They're going to front load us that they're going to burn it. That's fucking fantastic.
They're preparing you. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. But then when you get through the crunch and you open up to a completely raw piece of chicken, I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, that shit wouldn't be happening if I was in there, man. I'm telling you straight up. I don't roll like that, man.
Hey,
no way.
When y'all go eat on the boat, Alex, is it all you can eat, or did they give you a tray and be like, this is it?
No, dude. So it's a portion. So the portion thing, right? So they have like a Coast Guard standard on the portions that you can get, and then you can wait until the whole meal's over. And if there's food left over, you can get seconds. So we got some big dudes on the boat who are like one of my roommates. He's 6'3", 6'4", 240. He's a big fucking dude. He gets the same amount of food as I get. Like which I get it. That's the Coast Guard standard. But here's the thing. The cooks are sneaky. And I've been doing this a long time. You got to be nice to them. Now, if somebody listens to this, I'm fucked, right? But I get giant fucking servings. And the buddy that I'm talking about is a BM1. If there's any coasties listening, Chris, I'm sure you know, BMs are notorious for being fucking assholes. They are just dickheads. And he's a grumpy dickhead.
No way.
Right? So he's a grumpy dickhead.
My boss is going to be listening to this tomorrow.
So he's a grumpy dickhead. So he's like, how do you get more? And I'm like, because you didn't ask him how their day was. And he goes, well, they're fucking shitheads. I'm like, I know, but I ask him how their fucking day was so I can get enough food.
So what happens if your ass gets hungry?
You mean underway?
Yeah, y'all got vending machines or a commissary?
Nope. There's a ship store, so we have snacks. Normally, you got to buy all that shit ahead of time. So you have like the limited amount of space, whatever, you get. If you guys really want to like see how this is, I actually posted a video 2 weeks ago on like the whole Coast Guard routine underway on a cutter. And then I did a room tour as well. But you have a limited amount of space. And then if you want snacks, you got to pack that separately in that same space. So,
man, I would bring as much potted meat, Wiener sausages, and sardines as I could fit in my day.
Yeah,
I would leave my drawers at home because I'd be getting fucking hungry.
Or here's the thing, and here's why you were talking about weight loss, right? We talked about that super early. So being underway and coming back, I've lost what am I at now? 30 pounds from when I was back here in Jersey, right? And the CSs have done a great job of being so shitty that I just skip meals. So listen, you can survive on.
See, where I'm at, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
I treat everybody really well, and if somebody's on a specific diet, I'll cater to whatever they're on. If they're like, hey, I'm in the gym, I want to cut weight, I'm like, all right, cool. I'll make you grilled chicken breast and a salad, whatever you want.
Love it.
And I do that for, everybody. If somebody doesn't like spicy foods, I'll tone something down or put something on the side for them. Like I cater to every single person there. I say that, but there's only like 30 something people at my station. It's a little different from the cutter life, but on a smaller scale, I have that mentality,
Yeah. So what you're talking about is great. And I've had FSs or CSs, whatever the fuck you want to call them now. I've had them that do that. And I've had excellent FSs who like were out there fishing with us off the back of the boat, right? We'd catch a mahi, throw that bitch up. FS3 is running in to get his knives because he's going to make fresh sushi on the fantail, the deck of the boat. He's going to slice that fish. That fish is still fucking moving, and we're cutting the flesh off and eating that thing, and it's amazing, right? Yeah, but he's got like a sauce that he puts on it first, dude. It's amazing. We have not all of our cooks. We have one. Shout out to Rosa. That's my girl. She's a train wreck of a person, but she's a fucking excellent cook. Other than that, they all fucking suck. And they don't care. Like they literally. This is gonna be my last rant about cooks. It was like 2.5 weeks ago. We had breakfast. It was a duty day. It was a Sunday, right? So Sunday, the whole crew's not there, Paul. It's just your duty section, right? The people who have to be there to stay on the boat to make sure it doesn't fucking burn down. So usually things.
You said duty twice.
Duty. So usually it's a little more low key, right? But they did breakfast. It was great. Lunch rolls around. I'm on duty. I said it again. I roll up for lunch. The gate, like they have a big sliding gate that covers up the galley. It's not even open.
Yeah.
Because what they did is they threw out a loaf of bread, a cut head of lettuce, and the old bacon. Dead serious. The old bacon
no.
from breakfast and said, hey, it's BLTs, but no tomatoes. And bro,
dude, that hurts me here.
Dude, they didn't even tell us that.
Oh, man.
It was a sign. This kid had written in magic marker on a piece of paper, BLTs minus the T. And that was their service.
I bet they were in the back.
Here you go, peasants.
Exactly. They
were in the back eating steak.
Here's some brown lettuce and bread.
Fuck, that was gonna be my last rant.
Oh,
It's not
man.
now, because now you said it, Paul. They're back eating steaks. That's another thing that pisses me off when I watch. It's Chinese food day on the boat, right? We're eating Chinese food.
I'm doing that tomorrow.
I hate. I'm sure you could be a great cook. I'm sure you're a great cook, Chris. I don't like Coast Guard Chinese food because you guys aren't trained to do it like a Chinese restaurant, right? I'm not a fan of it. You know what I do love? Fucking egg rolls. Egg rolls are the fucking bomb diggity. Smash them up. So I go, hey, can I get some extra egg rolls? And they go, no. I'm like, well, I'm just getting the chicken. I'm not getting anything else. Can I just get more than one egg roll? And they're like, no. And then I watch CS3 walk by, and this motherfucker's got a fucking bowl of egg rolls.
Well, they gave them all to him.
And I was like, yo, Killiford. I'll say his fucking name. Killiford, you fucking saxophone playing fucking weirdo. You fucking saxophone playing weirdo, because this dude plays the saxophone on the back of the boat, but he doesn't know how to play. Listen,
so he ain't no Lisa Simpson.
No. This dude's on the back of the boat, and it's midnight, and he's wearing uniform still, right? Because we have to wear uniform all day. It's late. It's almost midnight, and I go back to smoke, and this dude's got a fedora on, and he's playing a saxophone. And I go, Killiford, how can you tell what you're playing? You don't have any sheet music or anything, and you can't see it. And he goes, I just play what I feel. And then this guy proceeded to play notes off the saxophone that sounded like a Canadian geese trapped in the fucking flight nets. So I watched this motherfucker walk by with like 9 egg rolls in this bowl. And I'm like, yo. And they go, choose your rate, choose your fate. And I'm like, bitch. I was so fucking fired up. All right,
we have lost every person that came here to listen.
I'm glad you got that off your chest, man.
Ooh, I feel better. We
have lost every single person that came here to listen to us talk about fishing.
No. Here's the thing. We're going to get to the real brewskis here.
This podcast about real fucking life here. We don't always talk about fishing. Everybody wants to know what it's like on a Coast Guard boat. I mean, sounds fun. Minus not getting enough fucking food to eat.
Not enough food, not enough. Never mind. I'm not going to talk about what I don't get enough of. But we'll get back to fishing. All right, so you're in the Hobie
fishing,
now.
Fishing.
You're
who's in a Hobie?
Wrong guest.
Fuck. All right, so
all right. Native.
You're in a native. Sorry. Yeah, because you're pro stat. Sorry.
All right.
I got a little excited. No. My thought process would be, so you asked about the Susquehanna. Are you going to fish the Susquehanna?
Yeah, and I set an alarm for it. Me and a buddy of mine, Craig, we plan on going down together. We booked a campsite, over the winter, because we got, ain't shit to do here in the winter because everything's frozen. So
right.
we booked a campsite and just started checking shit out. And yeah, I got in. I had a little fucking minor panic attack while I was trying to sign up for it because my PayPal froze up on me and I started freaking the fuck out. But yeah, I'm sure everybody was doing the same shit. But yeah, it's gonna be my first Hobie event, so I was, just really excited about it. Susquehanna is on my bucket list. It's something that I've wanted to fish for a long time. I don't know why I never fished it because I lived in Pennsylvania for a couple of years, but I guess I'm just fucking dumbass.
You were in Del Bay, right? Yeah, you were in Del Bay for a while, right? 3 years.
Well, yeah, I was there, and I lived in the Poconos too before I even joined the Coast Guard. Okay. I went from Long Island. I moved to the Poconos, Pennsylvania. But yeah, I don't know why I never fished it, but it's.
Listen, I'm with you. It's kind of far, but not far. I know a lot of dudes travel a lot farther than I do for kayak stuff, right? It's not that far. I've never fished it, especially after last week's episode. I think when I get back, spring of 23, right? It probably should be good. I'm gonna try to fucking roll that river because I think I think I have the chops to be able to do pretty well on it.
Well, you said you do you do a lot of tidal though, right? Like tidal water fishing. Yeah,
I do. So, that's the primary what I do. Is it's a little different, right? But it's still a river, right? It's flow goes up and down. So yeah,
it's that bitch a mile wide though.
It's a fucking mile wide.
Yeah, this ain't
Get out of here.
No,
it is in some parts.
This ain't no regular fucking river.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, this bitch is like 100 football fields.
That's the one that has like the Statue of Liberty on it, right?
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's very similar to a lot of the. Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
The Statue of Liberty is on the Atlantic fucking coast.
No. There's like a replica Statue of Liberty.
Like a little one, a little guy.
Yeah.
A little lady.
Mm-hmm.
Bo, I got 2 neighbors with the same statue in my neighborhood. What the fuck makes it special on them on the river?
Listen.
Oh,
the only reason I know is I watched fan favorite Mike Iaconelli fish it, and I saw the Statue of Liberty. No comments on that one, Paul? You staying off that one?
No.
I mean, I said my piece with the the miniature statues. They about like trophies, waste of money.
All right, so what's your next event, Chris? What's lined up next?
It's one of the Finger Lakes, Owasco Lake. I have never fished it before. I'm gonna fish it this upcoming weekend to see if I even want to sign up for it. It's a joint event between Slay Nation and NYKBF. So I'm still undecided if I'm gonna do it or not. But yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I'm probably gonna hit the north. There's only 2 launches that I know of at North and South End, so I'm gonna check it out and see if I even want to fish it because it's gonna be Memorial Day weekend and it's gonna be a shit show and there's gonna be fucking boats everywhere and it's not my cup of tea. So
right,
I don't know if I want to do it or not. It's not really an enjoyable day of fishing. I mean, even if there's money on the line, it might not be worth it for me. It's just my mentality. I don't know if I want to do it or not. I'll just get frustrated and I don't know. My last tournament that you saw, probably a Bailey, he posted a couple things about a couple other guys, but I fished that same event and it was a great event. It was crazy. I mean, first place was 99.5 inches. And I mean, the numbers were so close, like third, fourth, and fifth place were all at like 95 and a half or something like that. I had 85 and a quarter and I was in 24th place with 85 and a quarter. I mean, my buddy was 92 and a quarter or something like that. And he was in 8th place. I mean, those are usually winning numbers. And it was wild, man. I think it broke records for New York for a single day event for most inches in the single day event. So
damn, that's wild.
Pretty crazy. But it was all bed fishing. And, it's probably my least favorite type of fishing is just sitting there and looking for the biggest fish on beds and just sitting there with a freaking Ned rig or a drop shot. And like, I hate doing that. I'm a power fisherman. I like fishing fast. I like throwing, chatterbaits, swim jigs, big swim baits, just crankbaits and banging into shit. I like fishing fast, so it's totally the opposite of the type of fishing I like to do. But I mean, I did it because I had to, but I put on a freaking little Savage Gear Ned salamander that my buddy was making fun of me. And he comes over and I posted a little video about it, but we're sitting there bullshitting. And I was like, oh, look, a big smallie. And I dropped my little salamander Ned rig down there and I didn't think he was going to go after it or she. And she fucking slammed it and dived under the boat. And I'm like, oh, shit, 20-inch smallie, like right there,
Nice.
So, but
I think,
unfortunately, I needed 4 more of those to fucking win.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, right.
So that wasn't enough. The 17s and
upside,
16s and 15s.
The upside is that you get to, I don't know, I'm trying to be the positive guy, right? The upside is that you got to kind of learn how to.
Are we doing good cop, bad cop? Is that what you guys are going to do?
Yeah. No, I mean, Paul's going to say you're a loser because you didn't get first. I'm going to say you tried your hardest and here's your participation award.
Alex gave you a trophy. I gave you a thumbs fucking down.
No, I know that's a tough one, especially if you're not a finesse guy doing those.
No,
Yeah.
I fucking
Those are
hate
tough.
it.
Yeah.
Or colorblind.
Not a
Tough to
fan.
fight fish.
Or fucking colorblind. That just reminds me back, Paul. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail. Did you see never mind. I'm sorry, just the clip when Sam sent those baits to you and he asked about the color.
I don't remember.
Sam made some Sam Demand, right? Made some specific he made some paddle tails, right?
Yeah.
In Bass and Brews colors.
Yeah.
And they were amazing. They looked
Yeah.
great, but I wasn't here, so he sent them to you. And then he came on an episode. We did a live stream, and he came on, and he was like, "Yeah, I asked about the colors." And Paul was like, "Yeah, Bo, I don't fucking know because I'm fucking colorblind. I couldn't see the shit."
I mean, I know it. We ain't gonna talk about the science behind color blindness. Somebody posted on the Facebook. I don't know this past weekend or Monday somewhere, a couple days before now, and it says, "Do colorblind only see Otto in Colorado?" I thought that shit was awesome.
Dude, that's a solid dad joke. That's a solid dad joke.
I think it was, do colorblind
really is,
people
really is.
only see the Otto in Colorado?
All right, so
Well, by
Chris,
Coast Guard standards, I'm also colorblind as well. So
that's why you can't tell
Yeah,
raw
it's in my
chicken from cooked.
yeah, exactly. It's like, that's not fucking pink. What are you talking about? It's the light. It's the lighting. It's the lighting.
Yeah, it's overcooked to me. Look gray.
So what's your next big tournament, Chris? What do you got lined up?
Besides the local tournament I got, I'm looking forward to the Hobie event, and I'm just pumped for that. I'm focusing on the local ones. I got several. I got Slay Nation and NYKBF, and then the Hobie event. It'll be my first one, so I'm gonna go there, 3 or 4 days early and camp out, and just pre-fish as much as I can, and hope for the best. I think I have a decent chance just because it's more my style of fishing from everything I've seen and listening to fucking Jake Harshman talk about it. It's getting me kind of pumped up. I mean, I've watched plenty of videos, studied maps, and everything I possibly can. So I'm really pumped about it. I mean, it's going to be a great experience regardless. I mean, that's what I'm in for. So.
I like it. What's your you're playing on that. You say you're a power fisherman, so are you leaning more towards the chatter and the crank? Is that what's gonna drive you for it?
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably bring one little fucking fairy wand with me just in case, but I'll mostly be I'll mostly be throwing like chatterbaits and stuff like that for the most part. I mean, spinnerbaits, chatterbaits. I mean, just bumping shit off rocks. And I mean, I fucking love doing that shit. You feel that bump against a rock and then that thump. And I mean, it just sends an adrenaline rush through your body. There's nothing like it. So
when are you, sorry,
a crankbait bite is a close second to a spook bite for me. Like when you're deep, especially deep cranking, when you're deep cranking, you're
deep cranking,
12 foot and
yes.
deeper, and they hit that thing, man. I mean, it's a split second before you know it's a fish and not a stump or a rock. They smack the shit out of it.
I love deep cranking. Like you said, 12 foot and above that or below that. I mean, I'll throw my main bait is like a DT 16 is what I'll traditionally throw, and then like a Berkeley dredger, like the 25 plus. I'll go to an area that's 20 foot and I'll dig that thing into the bottom, just crank it down and just let that thing dig in. And sometimes that's what you need in the middle of the summer. You need to trigger them. Those bigger ones are sitting down deep sometimes in the middle of the summer, and that's what you need to do. I mean, I love that bite. That bite is so much fun. There's nothing like it to me.
Yeah, it's awesome. We can't hear you.
Well, I got some stuff going on tonight. Paul always yells at me for this, but I got stuff going on tonight, and I want to cut.
Hold up.
Here's the thing.
What did you get home?
Dude, I got work to do tonight.
Work to do.
This man, like he about to be on a boat for another 7 months or whatever.
Because I'm going to be.
Is.
But, Chris, here's the thing. I want to, after the sus, I want to try to get hard on as well to have like a kind of like center around our covers, right? So Paul's the tournament guy, but I think
because the Susky is one of these places that everybody that I know that has fished there talks about how unbelievable it is and how different those fish are, and it's I mainly listen to fishing podcasts, but the ones that do the tournament reviews, the Suskies are usually the ones that I like the most because it's just, I don't know, it's just when they get into the details of that river and the fish there. It's just a whole different ball game. I really like it.
But definitely, Chris, I want to have you.
Yeah, there's definitely
I definitely want to have you on with a group. I want to get a pool of folks in, and I think we can totally do that. So I'd love to have you on for that. But before you leave, you know what time it is, right? It's shotgun time. It's
I think so.
Round. You ready, brother?
Yeah, I think so.
Listen, let's fucking go. Not only is this important,
if I had a beer, I'd shotgun it right now.
It's ruined careers. R.I.P. Dark Waters. So are you ready?
Yeah, I know him pretty well, so.
All right. Well,
tell him to get back.
He's a local for me.
Tell him to get back on the podcast. Not ours.
He's doing his jiu-jitsu thing right now, and
well, tell him to start a fucking podcast on jiu-jitsu so I can listen to him.
Wait. What would that podcast
I will tell him
about?
that.
Hold on. What would that podcast be about? Like, so today I went out, I rolled with a bunch of dudes. They were sweaty. They wore pajamas, and we did our thing.
He could talk about the technicalities.
Pretty much, yeah. Choke you out, you choke me out. We'll have a good day, you know?
That sounds like a whole different podcast, but let's do shotgun round. All right, brother. Texas or wacky?
Texas.
All right. Slow jams or hype music?
Hype music, death metal. All the way.
Hell yeah, dude.
Let's go.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? You're a Long Island guy, so I want to hear this answer.
Absolutely not. But if it's cheap ass pizza, you can put whatever the fuck you want on it because it's gonna taste like shit anyway.
That's the fucking. You know what? That's probably the best fucking answer for that.
It is. I'll say this:
if it's good pizza, then don't fuck with it.
Exactly.
The only time I've ever had pizza that had pineapple on it, where I wasn't picking the pineapple off, was that bitch had Canadian bacon, aka fucking sliced ham.
Yeah. Canadian bacon and pineapple, dude. Domino's
it's not bacon.
Domino's used to do
sliced ham.
They called it a fiery Hawaiian instead of red sauce. It'd be Frank's Red Hot instead, dude. It was money garbage pizza. You're gonna blow your butthole, but you're gonna enjoy it while you're eating it.
Hey, look, if you want to make a good red sauce or not red sauce, hot sauce pizza, use Hot Cock, not none of the bullshit.
Wow, get the fuck out of here. All right, Crocs or flats?
I'm gonna have to go with Crocs, even though I do knock off Amazon brand, but that's what I roll with.
It's the design.
So it's the style, all right.
Yeah, it's the design and the material.
Design, exactly.
He goes with otters instead. I gotcha.
No, he goes with the Caymans.
Yeah, I already know what the fuck they're called.
All right, you got a
moving on.
You've got a you're on a fishing trip, right? Would you rather have 5 2-pounders or 1 7-pounder?
On a fishing trip, 1 7-pounder. Absolutely.
Okay. But if it's a tournament,
tournament, obviously,
limit, right?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. But
this is Paul's question. Would you eat beaver?
absolutely, 100%.
Have you eaten beaver? It's not would you, have you?
It's have you?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, he said he already fucked it up, man.
All right. Have you eaten beaver? I mean, he said he's married.
The animal, no. I have an interesting. I have an interesting fact about beaver that I don't know if you guys know about. Do you know what castoreum is?
That's the oil, right?
It's the secretion from the anal glands of the beaver mixed with urine that they use. So technically, haven't most people, they use that for flavoring in vanilla and raspberry flavored foods. So technically, haven't most people consumed some part of the beaver? Or are you talking about the beaver meat?
Yeah. Have you eaten beaver? It's a yes or no. We ain't going to get into scientific facts of your, fake vanilla extract. Have you?
Oh no, it's not fake. It's natural. It's natural. It's natural.
Have you caught, killed, skinned, and somehow cooked the flesh of a beaver, a water rat?
No, man. I'm from fucking Long Island. I don't do that shit.
I just want to go back to how Kris announced on this podcast that he got accepted to the native pro staff, and now he's going to get kicked off because he basically said that everybody ate beaver anal gland oil. So
secretions, yeah, secretions. I think I said secretions.
See, this man got a good culinary education. He knows where the animal parts be the most.
I'm not saying anything that's a lie. It's a scientific fact. So I mean.
All right, this is a new question. Paul doesn't even know about this.
Well, this is like everything else with this podcast that you do.
Googan Baits, yay or nay?
No, overpriced for what they are. I'm just gonna say nay.
All right. You're somewhat familiar with the Hookset Hoodlums, correct?
Yeah, a little bit. Yep.
All right. Which Hookset Hoodlums founder will catch the biggest bass this year? Is it Ken? Is it Drew? Or is it Mild Bill?
Mediocre Bill.
Just because you said that, I'm going to say Bill.
Well, he. There's no way. I mean, it would take one of those guys having to come down here to beat him.
I mean, honestly, it would take Drew actually fishing. It would also take Ken not doing TikTok videos and also fishing. So
he does make, what is that shit called that he does?
Dude, did you see the roast video that he did of me on TikTok? It's fucking amazing.
I'm not on TikTok.
Dude, he roasted the shit out of me on TikTok. It was so good. It was so good.
For him.
Also we were supposed to do it last one. We didn't. New friend of the show, Alex Rudd, does this segment on his podcast. You guys should go check that out. But he does an overrated, underrated.
It's one of my favorites.
Alex Rudd, though, is he overrated or underrated?
Is he overrated or underrated? I'd say underrated, because most of the people that I fucking talk to don't know who he is. So I'm just gonna say who he is. He seems like a real fucking dude. So somebody that if I met him, I would just be like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" I don't know. I feel like, yeah, he is who he is.
He's a real dude, but he's really overrated.
Do you think he's overrated?
No, I'm just joking. No, yeah, Alex is a fucking sweet dude. No, he's awesome.
Is that why you fanboyed and talked to him for 2 hours after the podcast?
God damn it, man! God damn it!
Hey, y'all! I just want to let everybody know this shotgun just got jammed because Alex has asked like 14 questions, and they're long as shit to ask, and they're long as shit to answer. I mean, come on, man! Damn, you can't give me a heads up.
Listen. That's all I got to say.
This man
and the most important question.
This man come back to a podcast still afloat barely,
No,
and
you
he's
did a
trying
great
to
job.
sink
Oh,
it.
shut up. How many
Ow.
times? Hold on. How many times do I got to say thank you? And I love you, Paul.
I didn't ask.
Like,
for
I don't
that.
listen. On Valentine's Day, I was so skeptical to buy 2 flowers, one for my wife, one for you. Like, you know, I love you, brother, and you've done a great job. And
I don't know what the hell
just,
happened to my flower because I damn sure ain't get it.
like, no, you didn't. You want to know why? Because I heard you whining on the pod. No, I didn't hear that. No, I take it back. I should have. All right, and the most important question, Chris. This is the one we're either gonna shake our heads and go, "Yeah, great choice," or we're going to make fun of you religiously about. Every fisherman loves a good sandwich on the water. What are your top 3 sandwich proteins?
This is only on the water, right? Correct.
Your top 3 sandwich proteins. Don't be a sea lawyer, Chris.
I'm gonna say pulled pork to be specific. A pulled pork sandwich, one of my top favorites.
I don't think anyone said that one yet, right, Paul?
Oh no, we've had a couple. We've had a couple. Cook a beaver like you would a pig and get pulled beaver. That's some deliciousness.
Oh, get the fuck.
You know what? I'm gonna fucking try that. I see beaver all the time. So
yeah,
I'm gonna say fried chicken.
Very docile.
Fried
chicken sandwich. God,
fried chicken.
One.
So
we've had fried chicken.
So to add on to that real quick, I make something at work that I call Kris Filet instead of Chick-fil-A, and I switch it up and I brine it differently and I do the breading differently, and it's probably what my number 1 requested meal every fucking week. I pretty much have to make it. Kris Filet. So boom, fried chicken sandwich.
I want
Got
some
it.
fucking Kris Filet.
No shit. I do too.
Why are we talking about food after
Dude, I get stationed down to Carolinas. I'm going to make you Kris Filet. I come down to Carolinas. If I get stationed down there, I'm going to make you Kris Filet.
I'll cook for you too. I ain't no chef by any means, but I can cook up some good stuff.
He's got a Donald hat on his head. He ain't no chef.
All right, number 3. I'm just going to say bacon because if you add bacon to any fucking sandwich, it makes it 10 times better.
These are really good questions. I think because I hadn't eaten in 3 days, but these are really good answers, not questions. But hey, Alex, you forgot one. Why the fuck has this thing got so many eating questions in it? Hey, Kris wins a kayak. Do you eat largemouth bass?
I skipped that one.
I don't, but I have.
Okay.
And I will tell you, it tasted exactly the same as every other fucking fish that I ate in that fish fry. Because it was fried.
I tell people all the time.
I'm not gonna say that it was bad or it was disgusting, but it tasted the same as all the other fish in that fish fry that I had. I couldn't tell the difference, obviously. Like
I tell people all the time. All the time. We'll cook.
I've heard it.
Damn flounder, fucking all this shit, and I guarantee you can't tell me which one tastes like mud or which one. More than likely, you're gonna pick the other fish and call it bass, and you would a bass. It's a fucking freshwater fish. It ain't no different. Damn, don't get me on the soapbox about eating bass.
But dude, I ate it one time, and I don't have gout, so that's a good thing. So. I heard it gives you gout. So.
I don't know.
I heard that somewhere. I don't know.
Bass don't fucking liquor be giving me the gout. Damn it.
All right, Chris. It was great having you on.
I'm sorry, man.
It was great having you on.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Listen, this is on me for cutting this one a little short. We do got some stuff going on.
It's all good. It's just because I suck.
No, not at all, dude. You did great. Hang out in the green room for a minute. Everybody else, check out the merch. Yo, we got the certified brewski shirts are up. Go check all that shit out. And I'm supposed to play this clip because Paul makes it feel more professional.
Hey.